Praise the Lord.
Please come on up. All right. She is a local children's author. We're so excited about that. Please tell us all about yourself and your books and what you've got here on display. Okay? All righty. And her daughter is here with her too, so we're glad she's here too. So please come.
Thank you.
You can take the mic out of that. Got it? Okay, great.
I am happy to be here and overjoyed because I've met, reacquainted myself with Janet Trask. She's an old friend, and I have enjoyed seeing her today. She worked with me at the VA. I'm retired Navy, and I also retired from the VA. And the days that we go in to take care of the veterans, the nurses and the doctors are phenomenal. And Jan is no exception. Jan is no exception. I want to also give out a shout out to Anne Beauregard. This is a dynamo. You have an absolute gem in her and what she does for this community. I can't say enough for her. She's basically taken me under her wing and helped me to promote my project here. And I want to personally say, Anne, thank you very much. Thank you for your help. So, community. That's what Anne does. She is a dynamo in the community. And that's what my little talk will be today, and about my work here. I am not an outgoing speaker. I hope I don't bore you. But I hope this presentation, hopefully maybe 5-7 minutes and no longer, that it would be interactive. So as I'm speaking, if you want to just interrupt me, and if you have a question, just throw it at me, and I will do the best I can to answer your questions. And then if you have anything after the presentation, please ask me. But a little bit about me. I am a mother of 4. I am a mother of 4. And I am a retired Navy officer, and I just recently retired from the VA. I've always had an interest in writing, particularly children's stories, because the stories that I found among the public in bookstores and in the libraries, a lot of them were not on topics that I thought that was valuable to our children when they read stories. Mostly what I intend to do with my writing is to focus on family, which I don't think we do enough. The family unit is so important to community, and without it, there isn't anything. There isn't a community. In those connectedness and that interchange and that dynamic among family members, there's so much to build civic responsibility, how to bring about children that have a well-established confidence in themselves and well-being, our emotional and mental health. All of those things happen within the family unit. I'm a Southerner. I grew up in the South. And one of the biggest things, and I'm sure in other communities, was how well we treated our elderly and our children. And you could tell a lot about a community and how well they did that. It was important to offer respect to our elders, but it was also important that those young children had a good understanding of self-worth and well-being. What I'm trying to do in my work is to take those values and translate them into paper and offer that work to younger audiences. In my book, A Table Full of Memories. Hannah is the main character. The setting is in a modest home. The era is late 1950s, early 60s. It's a unit of a grandmother, a mom, dad, and then, of course, Hannah and her brother. The interchange between this family, the dynamics, what I tried to do was portray a unit, a family unit that is supportive as well as a unit that reaches out to others. Now the dad is also like a sub-character in the story. A lot of the life dynamics within the family centers around the interaction between, of course, Hannah and her dad. Now, this dad is someone who does everything for his family. He's very interested and very supportive of his family, but he's not very handy around the home. So the misadventures that are described in the book are basically the dad's misadventures. This book is a series of 3. This introduces you to Hannah and her family, and particularly her dad. It also leads into a second series in which Hannah and her dad encounters a headless brakeman. When I was growing up in the South, every Halloween, the high schoolers would go out to the local railroad station, and they would look for a headless brakeman. It was rumored that he lost his head on on a recent train stop. My town was a local train station. That's the second book. And the third book is about Hannah and her dad encounter with an excursion on a diamond farm. Arkansas has a diamond farm. That's where I grew up, the state. And often we have a lot of tourists who goes there looking for diamonds. But what I'm trying to do in the work is to show that this dynamics and interchange between a daughter and her father and the misadventures that they have leads to well-development and a supportive unit in order that we may provide community, children who are well-grounded and civic-minded to the community. And I think because of the lack of civics and other topics that I think are not taught in school, our literature is also missing that. It's missing how important that without these interactions and relationships that we have, and if they're not there, then we tend to, I think, miss an opportunity to provide our children with the best, not only education, but the best person that they can be. And that is found in the family. The other thing I wanted to do in this short talk and to introduce you to my work is that we have to remember that in order for us to find emotional support, in order for us to reduce our stress level, in order for us to create a sense of well-being and confidence, a confident person, in order to provide problem-solving skills, that is missing in our children today. That is missing. I've gone to a grocery store, and if they don't have a calculator or use the register, they can't change a $20 bill. They can't break a $20 bill mentally. I've taught in our Stoughton High and Stoughton Elementary and Middle School. Civics is not taught there. I don't know why. Thank you. It's not taught there. And the children they can't solve problems. They react. instead of working through something with the teacher, their first inkling is to react to something. And I often wonder why. Why don't they have that emotional standing, that confidence, or that ability to take their emotions and analyze it and think through it, think through a problem? They don't have problem-solving skills. Another thing I wanted to do in my work is to ensure that we foster positive goals. And with the internet today, it's very hard to find platforms within the internet that promote positive goals. And so I think what I'm trying to do in my work is to ensure that I provide reading where you have a family unit. Not only is the dad and mom are there in the unit. I know that we have a lot of single families, which there's nothing with that, but the dad and mom are there, and then there's these interactions between each member of the family that is supportive, and it's centered on making sure that that person in that unit, we provide every need, every emotional and mental support that we can, so that when that person is an adult and they go out on their own, they are an asset to our communities. The other thing, and lastly, that I wanted to say is that we too, as adults in those units, need to set good examples. And when I was growing up in the South in our unit, our mom and dad, they had what was called home training. I don't know if you've heard that term before, have you? Home training. That was a big phrase in our family. And what that encompassed was that, Margaret, we're going into town. You represent the Anderson clan. And by no means do you embarrass the family out in public. We knew before we even got into the car, we received that lecture every time we had to go out in public. And they wanted to make sure that their children modeled or represented their name in the community. And it's what was called home training, teaching manners, making sure that we were respectful, making sure that we looked out for each other in the community. And if there was any problems, we needed to make sure that they knew about our problems so that they could provide that support. So these are some of the values and things that I think are missing in a lot of the children's literature. We have fantasy, we have science fiction, but I think there's very little literature that speaks to the family unit and its importance in building character and confidence and mental emotional support to our children so that they could go out and be the best person they can be and contribute to our communities. That's basically my little presentation today. If you have any questions for me, I would love to answer them.
Yes, we do.
Can you show the book, please, and let
Oh,
everybody know
yes.
it's available, and when you're going to be speaking anywhere else, and when the other books are going to come out?
Yes, there's the soft cover, it's $12.99, and then there's a hardcover. The soft cover is $12.99, and the hardcover is $24.99. There's a sheet here, it's available on Barnes and Amazon and also on Westbow Press, the actual publisher of the book. There's a sheet here that has all the links and phone numbers if you're interested in purchasing it today or if you wanted to order it later. Go ahead.
I have worked with children and youth for a very long time as a musician as well as a teacher. I taught reading, in fact, for a long time. What authors inspire you?
Actually, Hans Christian Andersen. I'm rereading a lot of his work right now. And he has inspired me to write literature for children. He used a lot of characters interplay with animals, actually giving them a voice in a lot of their literature. And that interaction between the actual character and the literature made the reading not only fascinating and interesting, but it added, he was able to add a moral tone throughout his writing and this interaction with the children and the animals that he used to teach moral lessons. And then that's another good point. I think we miss that. We get that in church, but sometimes it's not as much, I think. I think our family units are busy. They're always running here and there. They have elderly sometimes to take care of, as well as their children. And so I'm finding that our society is at a very quick pace. And in the South, when I grew up, it was a much slower pace. And we had time to sit and talk to each other, particularly over Sunday dinner. That was a big thing in our family, having Sunday dinner, and that's how we interacted and learned about our history and ancestry.
Any other questions? Janet?
Not a question, but I thought that maybe your daughter could tell us about her business that she has also.
Yes, I can have her talk to you.
Coming back.
To that.
Kai.
I think she's trying to help out someone. So that's part of her home training.
So she's a contract.
Thank you.
But just a simple question.
Sure.
You like the Grumpy Monkey books?
The what monkey?
Grumpy Monkey?
Oh, I haven't, the Diary of the Grumpy Kid. I love those, but I haven't read any of the Grumpy Monkey books.
Yeah.
But you can tell us a little bit about it, or?
I guess it's supposed to be, like, say that sometimes people are grumpy. I heard that it has to do with mental illness. Like sometimes people, they just feel grumpy and they can't explain why. And you try to cheer someone up and it's just like, it's a psychological thing.
Mhm.
So it's like trying to explain that to kids.
Well, a lot of people I find are grumpy or disoriented, and their disposition sometimes can be a little aggressive and hostile.
Yeah.
Is because I find that people have so much going on in their lives, and they're so busy, they're running here and there,
Yeah.
and they don't take the time for self-care.
Yeah.
We don't do it. It's almost unheard of. We don't take the time for self-care. And when we do that, I think that makes us grumpy.
Haste makes waste, and it can waste our health too, when we're
It's-
rushing around.
It's stress, it's not good for mental health, and I really would employ people to you today, if you can just take 5 or 15 minutes out of your day, just on your own. I don't know, if you have to get in your car and sing opera, or if you have to just go away and come and have the pastor take maybe an interlude of piano for himself, just to, to bring himself down after ministering to all of you. We really need to do more of that, and I think that's why we are grumpy. And if that book does that, then I would encourage people to try and go out and purchase it. Because anything that helps us relate to ourselves and our well-being and help us to develop ourselves more, I'm all for it. Thank you so much for